All right, we are here to do an unboxing of the Air, Land, and Sea card game. This is my first unboxing, and I figure might as well try a video like this. I will be doing a how to play for this game, and hopefully this weekend. But first, let's take a peek at what's inside. So I am not one to typically play games like this. If you've been following the channel, you've seen me do kind of a deep dive into commercial games. And this one caught my eye. I've seen it mentioned quite a bit around the internet, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And it's a type of game that I do not play a lot of. Make sure I'm in frame here. Yeah. This is a lane control game. It's classified as a strategy game, but it is basically lane control. I think there's a game called Gwent that is lane control. That is a digital card game. All right, so these are the theater boards. Let me go ahead and see how these open. Are they going to be easy to open? Okay, not for me and my big fumbly fingers. Let's see, I'll just kind of trying to keep this smooth, but okay. So these are the theater boards, and these will determine the lane that cards can be played. Air, land, and sea. Players are competing to control each of these theaters. It's 3 different lanes. So there are the theater cards. And it gives you a quick reference gives each player the reference for the cards that go to this theater and then the special ability on those cards. Looks like. So, alright, those are the theater cards, and those were packaged on top of the instruction manual. I thought that was kind of an interesting choice. Sorry for the chair noise. But then I realized why they did that here. So the instruction manual, the rule book, is flush with the packaging. Having read through this, it's a good manual. Some of the things are a little odd for how they put, what order they put the steps in, because they don't really just tell you how to play in order through of how the game will work. They kind of stop and discuss the different parts of the game before they tell you how the game is played. So to me, I don't know. I guess it's just user preference, but I don't want a detail of the battle cards until I know how to use them, and that's here. On a player's turn, they can do 3 things. So I don't know. That's kind of nitpicky, but I had to read through it a couple times. I think this game is simple enough that they could have done basic game structure on 1 page instead of spreading it out across the entire rulebook with a lot of little thematic elements sprinkled here and there. So, but other than that, simple to understand. It is really a simple game. All right, here we have the scoring tokens. So the point of the game is to earn 12 victory points. You earn victory points after each battle. The victor earns points based on how they win. So let's get these things open and see what they are all about. They look like pretty thick cardboard coins. Yeah, so there are 3 values of points. We got 6, 3, and 1. So these are nice. That's pretty cool. And then depending on how you win the battle, that determines how many points you get. As soon as a player gets 12 or more, they're going to win the game. It's pretty simple. So I'll just slide those aside for now. And then we got, look at the insert here, newspaper. So it's obviously World War II themed. They do not reference World War II directly, but it's obviously hinting at that era. So that's pretty cool. really like this. So this game, and I'll show you guys the back of the box here before we get into the cards. This game just makes me think of, there were these old chapter books for younger children based on the G.I. Joe property, but not G.I. Joe from the 80s, G.I. Joe from the 60s, where they were more realistic, and these books detailed specific battles, like the Battle of Iwo Jima was one that I owned, and the Battle of the Invasion of Normandy was another one. And it used the same kind of style. Now, there's some reviews I've seen describe this graphic design as bland and generic, but I think it's perfect. This, just looking at this, gives me the impression of the classic green army men, those little toys that we had growing up and that my father had, just the classic little green army men. And just enough, it's just thematic enough to give you that feel of World War II. It doesn't need, I don't think it needs to get any more detailed than this, because it's not a historic strategy game. It's not a historic war game. This is a card strategy game. Lane control. It's not trying to mimic war. So, well, anyways, here we got the Supreme Commander cards. They are used to determine who goes first and who goes second. And then points are awarded based on whether you're the first player or the second player. And the way the game's set up, essentially, the first player is the defender, it seems like, and it's the burden of winning is really put on the second player, because the first player wins ties. So it seems as if the second player is considered the attacker in this game and really needs to dominate in order to win. And then here we have the small, I believe, 18 card deck. They just call them cards in the manual. Nothing thematic. I wish they would have, even just battle cards, something to maybe add to that theme of warfare. They do call the round a battle, and the entire game is a war, and you're trying to control theaters of the war. They don't call them lanes. So I thought it was kind of peculiar that they just went with cards, 18 cards. So each of these cards, there's 6 per theater. So 3 suits, 6 cards per suit. Each card has a strength number and then a type. So this is the C, strength number 1. And then there's an ability on many of them. There's 2 types of abilities. There's an instant ability and an ongoing ability. So looking at these, I don't think this is generic at all. I think this is classic. Really cool, a really cool art direction. Now I believe this was a print and play game, and that has just become very, very popular. But I love it. I love it. I've done the write-up for this game for Game Rules. And like I said, the video should be coming out this weekend. And it's simple, but it's in that simplicity that this game has become just so popular. I think people who aren't into war games really dig this game just because of the simple gameplay. And this idea of controlling lanes. You only are dealt 6 cards, and that's it. That's what you have to win the battle with, is the 6 cards you're dealt. So you have to use your cards wisely, use the abilities wisely, and make the best of what you're dealt. Alright, well that is Land, Air, and Sea, the unboxing. Look for more details on this game in the days to come. Thanks for watching.